Hey guys, it's Malthus here once again with a short follow-up video on the Chieftain, Beeftain, Armageddon brand, Flame Surge, Orb of Storms, whatever the fuck build. That did end up killing just about everything in the game and was a pretty smooth endgame character. So it was originally based around Armageddon brand, and the idea was to use Armageddon brand again for the second time ever, which is still a pretty decent skill, but it does have quite a bit of delay on it compared to most other things. So in the end, a lot of our clear did come from things like Orbit Storms and Wake of Conviction, thanks to the explosion chest that you can roll through the Crusader eye level 85 mod. So that was doing a lot of the carrying for clear, but you can make it pretty much pure Armageddon brand as well. There's just no real rhyme or reason to do that, as you can see through some of these clear clips. And in the end, for the single target, a lot of the work was being done by Flame Surge as well. The idea was I kind of wanted to combo your playstyle of chuck out two brands and do nothing with something, because traditionally you can only get two brands up on an enemy and then you stand around and wait for those brands to do damage, whereas you definitely have the opportunity to do something, and in this case I wanted to use Flame Surge, so I ended up 6-linking the Flame Surge in the end, even though I did originally use Blade Vortex and Flame Surge both on 5 links, and that still can totally be something you do. It's just kind of a choice, because Blade Vortex will add a bit of damage at times and make it so you don't have to stand still and do damage yourself in certain situations, but I found myself not even getting a good enough Blade Vortex opportunity in plenty of cases, so I just decided that I'd go full Flame Surge 6-link, and it does pretty much stress your mana fairly high, so you have to rely highly on your mana flask, and for some of the longer fights like an Awakener or maybe an Uber Elder, it does get a little iffy with your flask management, so be careful with that. You might have to spec into the flask mana nodes if it's feeling too uncomfortable. I didn't do that. I did end up just relying purely on mana, but most boss fights it's completely fine and you just pretty much annihilate the boss pretty quickly with all your cooldowns. And it is a little bit interesting to have to try and time your Chieftain 100% extra fire damage node at times. Most of these boss fights you can see I'm trying to go in just as it ends that 4-second buff, so then it's a 6-second cooldown while they do their bullshit talking phase, and as soon as we start attacking them, typically we'll have our big damage buff in. So it's a bit interesting trying to rotate that one and keep an eye on it, but in the end, yeah, the damage was pretty damn good. The burst for a non-crit Chieftain off of pure fire damage with fairly humble gear aside the 6 links that is. It's pretty surprising how far we could push the damage. It was currently probably one of the, still one of my better DPS characters for the league. I wouldn't say the best or anything like that, and probably won't end up being the best since I'll make some more characters throughout the league, but it was very, very respectable. It's a bit of a tough character to build as your very first one or anything like that, since you do need quite a bit of specific gear, and you can see me still taking all kinds of damage on some of these bullshit dudes, sometimes during metamorphs, sometimes during hard maps. It's not quite as Beeftain as I would have hoped for it to be, but it is still very solid in most levels of content. And you can make it a bit thicker, you can make it a bit more damage, customize the passive tree and your gear kind of to your own tastes, but took on all the content, was doing some fairly deep of my own delves, and it was overall a pretty worthwhile character if you're looking into getting some Armageddon brand done, or some Chieftain action done, or just playing with the Disintegrator. Now, I will leave you guys with my first Awakener kill, or just the end of it. Hope you guys enjoyed the character and the video, and see you next time. Whoop. Whoop. Whoop.
Everlasting fire.
Oh shit, I completely lost track of him for a second there.
Yes.
Don't want to blow cooldowns yet. I'm sure I'm about to get meteored. There it is. Beyond. Still don't want to blow cooldowns. Probably now. And then still nothing. Even less than nothing! What? How does he keep getting such loot? Large minus 11 is kind of a fucking result, I guess.
Sorry.
Might be worth like 10 C.